my work hired a private investigator to stalk me on medical leave.
Okay, this is a very weird and long story that I think I can only explain chronologically. TLDR, I was on unpaid medical leave and my work hired a PI to follow me around and have been weird and shady at every step of the process. Earlier this year I started getting weird unexplained neurological medical symptoms. And after about a month of attempting to push through and keep working, I had to start taking sick days here and there. As things got worse and I started running out of sick vacation days, my supervisor suggested I apply for FMLA. I applied under the guidance of my HR representative and stopped going in. Likewise, I stopped getting paychecks. I also have a small artisan crafts business that I run on the side, selling at farmers markets. At this point, I'm largely bedridden 4 days out of 5. Only able to do things with a few days of rest beforehand and a few days of being basically unconscious afterwards. Frankly, my doctors didn't want me doing anything, but that would drive me mad. So I kept going to markets on some weekends. My husband did all the work, all the lifting, all the setup and takedown. I just sat there and talked to customers, occasionally bagging something. 2 months of complete radio silence from my job later. I got a phone call directly from the COO, who I had never met. He says I never qualified for FMLA because I hadn't worked there long enough, and demands very rudely that I return to work the next morning. His tone was incredibly nasty and disrespectful to the point that struggle to describe it. I told him I was still sick and there was no way that was happening. So he says I need to give them a new doctor's note within 24 hours. This spins me into a massive panic attack since I have no idea what was going on. I don't know how it is elsewhere in the US, but where I am post-COVID, you aren't going to get word back from a doctor within a week for almost anything. So it took me a few days to get the note, which I emailed to them. My husband also emails them with more questions about what would happen next, and why it took 2 months for them to figure this out. Since I was too tired to do anything else, I hear nothing back for almost a week. Eventually, a new HR representative reaches out. Apparently, the original one quit. She says the board has decided to put me on a medical leave of absence, which nobody asked me about, and I should send in another doctor's note in a few weeks. Because it's not FMLA. They stopped subsidizing my health insurance and I can't afford it anymore. So I end my coverage and move over to my husband's insurance. Now it goes back to radio silence. I send the new note in a few days before when they wanted it and again hear nothing back for about a week. Then I get an email saying they need another one in 4 business days. The timeline seems completely arbitrary. I ask for some more time, citing how long it took to get the last one. I get told that the new date is consistent with the 2-week schedule. Well, nobody ever said anything about 2 weeks. And also the new date isn't 2 weeks from the last date. I tell them this. I show them the email chain. I get no response. I just manage to get the note in time, by some miracle. My doctor is annoyed that they keep asking for notes so frequently, even though every single note he gives them says she shouldn't work until further notice, because of how weak my symptoms leave me. I'm not even supposed to drive long distances, so I don't know how they expect me to commute 45 minutes. Then I get a call out of the blue. They've scheduled a meeting for Friday morning. My attendance is mandatory, and I'm entitled to union representation. Oh, my state union representative is out of town until that morning, and asks to push it a day or two, so it's not just my local representative who's kinda inexperienced. They refuse. My state representative has to reorganize their whole schedule to attend, and they'll probably still be late. My husband takes the day off work to drive me to the meeting. something he has to do fairly often to take me to appointments. His job is thankfully very understanding. My local union representative meets me outside and we walk in together. The COO and his boss are there. They reveal that they've hired a private investigator to follow me at markets and accuse me of being an imposter. Like, the COO literally pulled the Webster definition of imposter up on his laptop. Then they started going through my business Instagram and spy videos their PI took of me lifting my purse up at markets to show me working. When I tried point out that those Instagram videos were from 2 years ago, and that one day of sitting at a farmer's market a week while my husband lifts everything is very different from a 5-day work week in a very skilled and exhausting service profession, they started shouting at me. They told me they could take away my license, which I doubt. They said I had no credibility. They said they didn't care about my medical condition or the multiple doctor's notes from multiple doctors. At that point I was having a full panic attack, so they told me to leave until the state union rep showed up. He went in on his own and came back about an hour later. He said they claimed to have overpaid me by a few $1,000s based on the number of sick days I took, apparently. But they'd forgive that if I resigned and then signed something saying I wouldn't sue the school. We're waiting for them to draft that agreement now. Afterwards, thinking about the spy footage they showed me, I realized that one of the markets they had hired the PI to film me at was a full month before the COO reached out to me for the first time. A full month before I heard literally anything about my FMLA application. So they were investigating me from the get-out. But did this whole strange dance with a leave of absence and weeks of doctor's notes before confronting me. Why? What was their goal? Why not just fire me? It's not like they were losing money. They weren't paying me. Surely unemployment would have been less expensive than a PI. And frankly, if they are accusing me of fraud, they could just fire me for cause and contest the unemployment application. So I'm now paranoid when I'm at markets, dealing with the emotional repercussions of the extremely traumatic and weirdly petty drama-filled meeting, and unsure what to do. Nobody from the workplace is replying to my texts, so I think they've already started to blackball me. Even if I resign, nobody will want to hire me after this drama. Do I have grounds for any kind of labor dispute or personal injury lawsuit? I literally started getting stress-induced alopecia, hair loss. Because of this, my therapist can attest to the panic attacks this has been giving me. And I still don't know what's causing my neurological symptoms. I keep getting bounced between specialists and it takes at least a month to get an appointment with anyone these days. I feel like they wanted to accuse me of fraud but didn't get enough evidence, so are just trying to exhaust me into rolling over and leaving them alone. I don't want to sign something saying so won't sue them because it feels like they're afraid of that, and I want to know why. Do not sign any agreement not to sue. And start threatening to sue for every single thing. They gave the game away with that and know they are in the wrong. Please try and find a lawyer you can afford or who will take your case on consignment.
#LawyerUp. Do not sign that paper.
Call the lawyer and sue them. There's a reason they want you to sign and you just have to find out what it is. The lawyer would know. I suspect they're trying to defend against a raging claim under the Americans with Disabilities Act. Get thee a lawyer. Whatever else is going on here, your company is bullying you. Even if they had a solid case, that would be true. Look into respectful boundary setting and start expecting more respectful treatment. For example, you can tell them you need an answer to your communications within a certain amount of time. You have a strong position. If they are trying to get you to sign something, they can't just fire you for whatever reason. It's time to consider what you want and start trying to get that. If they want you to sign something saying that you can't sue them, it means that they know they broke the law. They know you can sue them. They know you will win. They are just using bullying tactics to force you to comply. Record every single telephone conversation and keep everything they have sent you in writing. The way these people spend money on everything else except the work, or goddamn they are sick. As these comments state, get an attorney, save all documents, and most of all when you receive the documents they want you to sign. Then and only then, inform them that you want your attorney to review it. Then relax. You deserve it. Do not sign that agreement on the spot. Take it with you and insist on having time to look it over. Wow, sorry you have to go through this. They are way out of line. Your health comes first, and I hope you get to sue them for big dollar. PIs following people on medical leave is way more normal than you think. In no way am I saying I support it, but everyone should be aware of the possibility of that happening to them.
Do not sign. Contact a lawyer.
Sometimes I feel like we should get to vote on where lightning will strike next. I just want to make a suggestion to look into myalgic encephalomyelitis. I hope that isn't it, but it's an idea. Personally, I would start by calling every gov agency related to employment law I could find to get info, and start with the EEOC. Your state bar's website usually has a lawyer referral program whereby lawyers will give 30 minutes consults for 20 minutes apts, and if they agree to take your case they will work for a discounted rate. Also, I would suggest starting an Etsy store or something like that to sell your goods and stay away from farmers markets for now. Wait, so you made an FMLA claim? Then, before approving or denying the claim, your employer hired a private investigator. Then, they approved your claim. And now, they are confronting you like this? You should talk to a lawyer ASAP. WTF. Attorney here, not yours. You need an immediate consult. Do not communicate with them any longer unless through a professional. This is highly complex and would be hard for even me to navigate properly, let alone someone without bar admission, the education, experience, and in your health. Avo.com. State bar or equivalent in your country. Yellow Pages, Google. Good luck. I hope you recover as well. Don't sign anything and definitely sue them. If they didn't think you had reason to sue them, they wouldn't be trying to force you to sign something like that. Don't sign. Don't sign nothing, ma'am. Lawyer up. This place seems like hell.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.